Hello and welcome everyone, I'm C.S.Gilmore and this is Templar Battleforce. So, we're about to deploy to a peace mission, which is just, a bunch of information and talking mostly, so this should be more informative than anything. The Righteous Fallen's repairs have been completed and now the Templar command ship is in orbit of Maclomnia Prime. A lot has certainly changed while I've been deployed. When I am done talking to the others, I should meet with Major Luther to determine my squad's next assignment. It is good to be back. Looking much better than the last time I was in here. Let's talk to you first. What news from the faction colonies? The founding has continued at an astounding rate. From the halls of Rykart Prime, Prince Alexander has overseen the settlement of 9 colonies. Clan Maclomnia's Prince Damien Lumoth is moving with the same determination and speed. There are 7 Maclomnia colonies. That's not bad considering they were so far behind colony shipwise. What are the colonists doing? There are only 5 worlds of the 16 that will be able to support larger populations. These include Rykart Prime, the highest world on the Calistine scale in the quadrant, and Maclomnia Prime as well. The other 11 worlds truly are dust balls, barren wastes where living can only be scratched out. But these worlds are proving to be full of resources, gases, chemical, and even spice for the mining. The Star Trader captains are hard at work surveying and seeking out new worlds for the factions. Spice? Are they making a Dune reference? I'm not sure. Sounds kinda like it. We are lucky for the Star Traders, one of the most respected and important traditions of our people. Free men and women who own starships and work for whom they please, faction, independent, or only for themselves. Are independent colonies forming? From what we've heard from the Star Traders, there are starting to be pockets of independent activity. The factions provide a structured way of life, traditions, and social hierarchy. But it's not for everyone. Many of the refugees coming to the call of the stellar beacons are from other factions of smaller clans and great houses. They have chosen to find new homes in the marginal worlds that do not interest the factions. This freedom in life is an integral part of the Star Traders' way of life. The factions encourage independence and leave them to their worlds. It makes us all stronger. Has the news from the Galantia Cross spread? The faction colonies are linked by the spice trade, commerce, and the constant flow of Star Trader captains. The news had spread before the fighting was over. It has reverberated across the quadrant like a shockwave. There has been panic and rioting on many worlds. Why the panic? We were able to defeat the Xeno. The very presence of the Xeno instills fear in the factions. It is the promise that they are still near, that they may come out of the void at any moment. And they know that the Templars are only one warship. The 3 Terox Xeno cruisers we faced in the Battle of Kerm destroyed the Air Prima. What would stop them from striking again? The people look to us for protection. Yes, the Templars are a symbol of our strength, our freedom, and our people's defiance in the face of great odds. No one has forgotten the part the Templars played in the Galactic War, but we are isolated from the main fleet of the Exodus, and we Templars are few. They will be reassured as the Rykart and Maclomnia militaries grow in strength. Together we will be able to protect our growing quadrant. What of the rumors the Star Traders smuggled out Xeno artifacts from Galantia Cross? Anywhere there is trade, there is a black market. During the invasion of Galantia Cross, there was unavoidably a lot of human and Xeno contact. We destroyed every ounce of Xeno material we could recover, but it is guaranteed that profiteering Star Traders or smugglers sold Xeno artifacts that they recovered. Likely many are fake or so damaged that they are not dangerous. Prince Tarkin's forces reported that they apprehended and jailed 2 Star Trader merchants who were illegally trading artifacts at the Star Traders Exchange. So that's probably going to come back to bite me later. I mean, likelihood that it's not going to come back to bite me later is pretty slim in a setup like this. Let me take a look down here real quick. I want to see just what this ship looks like. Yeah, it's looking good. Looks like they're still patching up a hole in the hull here. But for the most part, this looks like it's up and running. Okay, next person. The Factionites are looking for Templars looking to Templars for reassurance. Yes, the people need to see and know the strength of the Templar Order. They need to be reminded that we stand by them and fight for their freedom and protection. However, we must be gentle. We are their champions, not their masters. They have nothing to fear from the Templar Order. You must remember the history of the Star Traders people. We have come out of hundreds of years of oppression and in many cases enslavement. The guild was a cruel master, and they did not spare the lash. Once they were the champions, our ancestors looked to them as heroes and leaders. That distrust is embedded in the psyche of our people. How did the Narvidians control the guild? The same spring that fed the guild's meteoric rise was the maker of their downfall. In the time between, we have come to know that the guild discovered a catch of ancient Narvidian technology. Okay, so the guild is younger than the Narvidians. The Narvidians seem to be maybe another race. At the time, the Narvidians, the most powerful and insidious enemies, were unknown to the galactic core. They are something older and more evil than the Xeno, a machine-based life form, skilled in genetic manipulation and the arts of subterfuge and war. Okay, so that would explain why if they're machine-based, that would kind of explain why they don't worry about creating the Xeno. Bang to the Xeno, they're nothing of value because they're probably inedible. Or, I don't know, I'm not sure what runs the Xeno exactly. Instinct or intelligence-wise. Yeah. The guild's discovery unleashed an age of sudden technological revelations, all on the backs of the Narvidian secrets. With their new power, the guild united the factions and the galactic core expanded at an astonishing rate. Among their breakthroughs was the secret to faster-than-light communication. It was through the use of the FTL planetary communication network that the Narvidians infiltrated and eventually came to control the guild. Recognizing the strength, respect for freedom, and will of the Star Traders people, the Narvidians saw us as a grave threat. They set about isolating, subjugating, and destroying the Star Traders' clans and worlds. I suppose that would be a lot easier if you did control their communications through that sort of means. Without them even knowing it, you could put in false messages, just ultimately destroy them. You could turn them against themselves even, if you did, right? So I could see how that would be effective and nasty. Okay. What assignments do you have for my Battleforce, Major? There is still the matter of the floating hulk of the Ferraria lands. The news of the Xeno invasion of Galantia Cross has caused a great stir throughout the quadrant. My apologies, Major. Invasion? You must understand how the other colonies regard the event, Captain. Xeno spore pods touched down on the world, and entire cities were wiped out. It was an invasion. Yes, sir. The trouble has been especially bad on Reichardt Prime. There have been violent riots, and some sectors of cities fell into martial law for some time. Prince Alexander Reichardt has requested that we send a squad of Templars planetside to quell the unrest and rebuild the sense of security. Okay. What more can you tell me about the patrol duty on Reichardt Prime? Both Prince Alexander and Prince Tarquin have requested Templar presence on Reichardt Prime. We will send 2 squads to the world's surface and put you on parade. You'll be seen in the major cities and in the largest population centers. Do not underestimate the power of the Leviathan battlesuit. The Reichardt citizens need to be reminded that we fight for their safety and that we will meet the Xeno with fire and steel. And my squad has been selected because you were the victors on Galantia Cross. You broke the invasion, Templar. Yes, it is a political move, but a much needed one. While you are there, Templar, I need you to be aware of a dangerous claim that Prince Alexander has voiced. He has claimed that the rioting on Reichardt Prime, which was the most violent in the quadrant, was fueled by the Mechlomnia spies and money. The Mechlomnia would not. There is a festering feud over the ownership of Reichardt Prime. Our sources warn that Prince Damien of Maclamnia may start a duel of assassins with Rykart in an attempt to claim ownership. Of the planet. Okay, that's a bit of a grammatical mess, but not bad still, compared to a lot of games I've seen. That is madness. We must build our new home together, not ritually kill each other's leaders. True. The factions have their way, and the laws were laid down by Shaloun himself. Hopefully it will not come to that, but you must be on the lookout. If the rumor that Maclamnia had a hand in it is true, we must know. Okay, so it looks like that's the next mission potential there. But I'm going to do the Ferrari Lance first. One, it'll give me a change of scenery off planet. And two, it's been sitting and waiting. So, I'm going to do that one next. How could such trouble spark so quickly? The factions are united by a strong flow of commerce, spice trade, and travel. Before the fighting was over, word had spread to every colony in the quadrant, which was to our disadvantage, because the first news that arrived was that Galantia Cross was being invaded, and not that the Templars had quashed the Xeno force. There is still great fear in the people of the Terox Xeno who attacked the colony hives. Some of the refugees arriving from the void of space come with tales of other Terox activity in the area. Fearful and wanting their faction leaders to take decisive action, people took to the streets in protest, which was the spark that started the riots on many of the worlds. Okay, so I can go to there to reassure the populace, and I can do the Ferrari Lance thing. I'm going to do the Ferrari Lance next, because I want to know... Well, I want to take care of that. I want to get whatever... If it's a science vessel, I'm hoping I get new goodies out of that. Maybe a lot of... If it gives me extra requisition points, I'd be happy with that. The chances are it won't do anything of the sort, but I don't know. Either way, it'll be good. Plus, as I understand it, there's supposed to be... I don't know. Yeah, I think on the non-game, like, play actual area, but, like, the general story, sounds like there's some Templar-type units on there. And so it could be a strengthening to my forces, in some sense of the words. Okay. We will stage a holding action near the auxiliary airlock, or we will march across the open deck to the explorer's airlock. Which one? The auxiliary airlock might be faster in some ways, but the explorer's airlock would probably be more open. Of course, if I need to evacuate people, maybe having the auxiliary airlock would be better, I suppose. I'm not sure which one's supposed to be closer. Let's go for the auxiliary airlock. So, deploy. Let's deploy to the Ferrari Lance. We will stage a holding action near the auxiliary airlock. I will arrange for Sergeant Cathos to accompany you on a spear cutter. You'll need to form up around the airlock and its tactical point to gain access to the interior of the Ferrari Lance. Alright, the Ferrari Lance. Airlock pinpointed. Priority, secure and hold. Lost in the Battle of Kerm. The Ferrari Lance was the first vessel lost in the Battle of Kerm. Raked by the Terox guns, it vented its hull. All hands were supposedly lost. But a star trader has discovered evidence to the contrary. If there are survivors, they are hardy, ingenious people. Many months have passed, and yet they may survive. They deserve to be rescued, regardless of the risk. Alright, so we're ready for the next mission. I'm going to end this episode here, though, as just, being the conversation mission that it is. That way I'll get full episode time and not a huge drawn-out thing for the next mission. And it'll be more of an action mission, obviously, because it'll be a mission instead of just talking. Oh, these are a bit of a tongue workout. All in all, vocal workout, too, just going through all this talking and discussion, but it really flushes the game out. The story is so rich. there's so much potential to this. They've done a really good job, I believe, of establishing a history to this world setup already, and making it sensible, giving it some meaning. I don't know, and leaving enough mystery open to make me keep wondering about stuff like these Narvidians. They're probably gonna make an appearance at some point. I'm betting. It's kind of the whole, if you're gonna put a gun on the mantelpiece in Act 1, it better get fired in Act 2. Or was it Act 3? Anyway, basically, use it later. They've brought up the Narvidians, and they keep getting more and more detail about them, so I'm betting the Narvidians are going to come up at some point in this whole mess and do their own little thing. And then there's the artifacts, the Xeno pieces of the ship that some idiot Star Traders were shipping around. Those are probably going to come back to bite me later, too. So many goodies. I love this. Anyway, leave a comment below, let me know what you think. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.